Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to Predatory Exotics. Now today we're going to be doing another product review for you guys today. As you can probably tell, we're in a different location than we normally are, and we do apologise about the lighting. It is a heat wave here in the UK. We are sweating. It is a hot day, but today we're going to be bringing you a review on the Exo Terra Habisphere. We've been using this for about 1.5 years with our Asian Forest Scorpion, and we want to give you guys all the ins and outs about this tank, in case you guys are looking to pick one up for yourself.
So the first thing you will notice is it's quite a different style tank to all the others in the Exo Terra series. Most of them are a front opening tank, other than the Turtle tank, which is an open top. This one has a curved front, so you get a lot more viewing experience without any sort of ventilation holes or the bars that are in there. It's quite a nice clean looking tank, especially if you were to have maybe it on an office or a desk. It's just quite a nice little single tank to have, and you get pretty much a whole view around the tank, which is perfect. Or if you just wanted a small feature in your house with one tank, this would be a great addition for you.
So let's move on to the actual size of this tank. So this is a 45 by 30 by 30, and unlike most of the other Exo Terras that we've measured, this is exactly 45 long. Now, don't forget that this also has a curved front, so it cuts off the square kind of part at the front, so it's not exactly a 30 by 30, it has that front curve at the front.
So probably the most unique thing about this tank is the ventilation. The first thing you will notice is there's no ventilation holes at the front. This is a pro if you want that clean look, but is a con if you are keeping a high humidity species, because the front airflow is actually designed to keep the front mist free. So if you do have a high humidity species, this might mist up a little bit more than you are intending it to. So it just has the one mesh on the top here. It's quite a nice little mesh. It's great for keeping high humidity species because there's not a lot of free flow ventilation, but you just get this little one, which means you don't have to spray it as much because the humidity will stay in the air a lot longer than maybe another type of Exo Terra tank.
So moving on to lighting for this tank, there is actually an Exo Terra logo at the top, which is actually a touch button for you to turn on the lights on the inside of the tank. As you can see here, it has got these strip lights. Now this of course doesn't allow you to give access to maybe installing any kind of UVB bulb, it's just a pure LED light. Now this actually comes with 3 different settings. Of course off, this is how it looks, and then it goes to on, and then you also get the choice of just blue as well. And then back to off afterwards. Now this gives you a choice of maybe a day and night cycle that you can do with the pre-installed LED lights on the tank.
So the best thing for this tank is to keep a species that doesn't require high heat. This is because you can't actually install any sort of heat lamp on the top. The mesh is quite a thick mesh, so a heat lamp wouldn't work on it. I have seen people modify this to screw in like a ceramic heat emitter, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend messing about with that. What I do recommend is either a heat mat or something of that nature. Put it on the side, or we usually put it on the back, not underneath for species that we use, but a heat mat is a great source of heat in this tank.
Now moving on to the back of the tank, this back panel actually comes off, so what we've got to do is lift up the lid, and then as you can see it has 3 different kind of sliding slots that it slots into. This allows you to of course install any type of background that you want, which we'll talk about in a second, but main thing is that it gives you access for cleaning and keeping better maintenance inside your tank.
So as you just saw, it is a 3-section part to the background. You've got the plastic backing, you've got your picture background, and then you've got just like a piece of perspex that goes on top to keep the moisture away from this background. When you buy it new or used, you get the one background. So on one side is this tropical background, and then on the other side is this rocky background. But if you go onto the Exo Terra website, I believe there's about 4 different designs for desert and another 4 for rainforest. So you can pick whichever one is best suited to your animal and whichever one you prefer. Just print it off and it will slot right in, and you can customize it however you like. So we're going to talk about access for your tank. Obviously it's got this top flap that you can open. This is good for a species that likes to escape. If it stays on the ground, it means you can put food in, put water in, and it's not going to climb up the glass and escape, which is quite a good design. The only thing with this, you do need space above the tank, because if you're lifting this up, so you are going to have to add a few extra centimeters just so you can lift this up all the way and gain access to your tank. And the other thing is misting. Obviously you've got your water bottle, and you've got it like that. If you're trying to mist it like that, and you've not got a lot of water in it, sometimes the nozzle won't actually spray, so it is a little bit more difficult. So it's better to have more space so you can freely mist your enclosure, if obviously it is a humid species that you've got in there.
So now we're going to move on to what we recommend you actually put inside this kind of tank. Now, of course, the main one is due to not actually being able to do any UVB, invertebrates are a great choice. This is what we keep in here currently. You know, and a range of scorpions is also a great choice. I think personally a great choice for a scorpion display case. With the front and how slick it looks, you get a nice look, and it's nice low down field for you to see your scorpion.
The only other thing that we probably recommend keeping in here, we don't recommend keeping reptiles because of the UVB requirements, and some of them are high heat. The best thing to do is a few species of amphibians could go in here. So amphibians that don't need UVB, something like maybe a fire-bellied toad, some species of salamander that are going to be burrowing a lot of the time, so they're not going to need the UVB, and they don't like a lot of heat, so you can put a small heat mat on the back or the side, which is going to be more than sufficient to keep your animals happy and healthy.
So now coming to the end of this, we're actually going to talk about if we would recommend this tank to you. Now, of course, like we said, if you're getting any kind of invertebrate or some of the amphibian species, then yeah, go ahead. We think it's a really nice looking tank, especially in my opinion. I think this is a sleek design, and will go nicely on any like office desk or anything along those lines.
So this is a little bit more expensive compared to some of the other sizes. The Exo Terra 45 by 45 by 30 high is about £112 RRP, whereas the Exo Terra Habisphere is £120 RRP, and it is a little bit smaller in terms of the dimensions.
So would we actually recommend this for you guys to pick up? Now, we kind of think that if you are looking just to pick up one tank and maybe not have a whole collection, then yeah, this is a great tank, sleek design, and would just look nice in the room. If you're looking to actually get a collection of reptiles, amphibians and invertebrates, then maybe the actual Exo Terra cubes would look a bit better. They have a much more nicer stacking system, and I think overall just give a better look for when you have multiple ones.
So if you are looking to buy this second hand rather than new, a 45cm cube, which is obviously taller and deeper, is going to set you back around £30–35. It's harder to come across these, that's why they're about £50 used, which is quite a lot of money for a smaller tank. But if you are in an office, or if you have a home office, something like that, this tank might be perfect fit for you, so you might be willing to spend a little bit more money on the perfect tank.
So we hope you guys have enjoyed this quick review on the Exo Terra Habisphere. We do enjoy this tank. It is a very nice tank, and hopefully this maybe got you deciding on if you want to purchase this one or not.
So don't forget to check us out on all of our social media platforms. We are not just on YouTube. Check us out on Instagram and TikTok for daily updates of our reptile keeping journey.
But without further ado, we hope you guys have enjoyed, and we will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.
If you've got it on a shelf like that, it's going to be hard to get it up. Probably shouldn't have said hard.